Hi, I'm Diane Student. I'm the founder, writer, producer, and co-host of the History Goes Bump podcast, along with my wife, Denise Moormeyer. Why should you become a patron of our show? Quite simply, we are a podcast that is for the listeners, by the listeners. Most of the locations, events, and people that we feature on the show have been suggested by you, our listeners. We also get a ton of research help, pictures, and experiences about these particular locations from our listeners as well. We have the History Goes Bump research crew, which is entirely made up of listeners. We're also an entirely listener-supported podcast. We don't run any referral ads, no corporate ads, nada, and we never will. We will always be listener-supported. On its very base level, you get bonus material as well. At the $5 and above level, you get the History Goes Bump bonus cast, which features outtakes showing what professionals we are around here. And there's also excerpts from interviews and real ghost stories from our listeners. We also produce the Haunted True Crime podcast, which features true crime and the hauntings associated to those crimes. So far, we've covered things like the Cleveland Torso murders, the Manson murders, and Madame LaLaurie and her House of Horrors, and lots of other great stuff. You also will be able to participate in a quarterly virtual meetup at that level. At the $10 and above level, you get that plus History Goes Bump gear, like the History Goes Bump coffee mug, t-shirts, hoodies, and after you've given at that level for a year, an exclusive designed t-shirt. So what have our patrons helped us to accomplish so far? Well, we've gotten through 3 milestones. The first one was at the $50 level so that we could have the basics like hosting of our website and the podcast covered. The $75 level was our next milestone. And by hitting that, we were able to bring you guys more content, more shows with longer length. The third milestone was so we could give back to you guys. That's at the $100 level. And at that level, we host drawings. Every single month, one lucky listener wins an exclusive design t-shirt. And of course, that exclusive design was designed by a listener. Each year, we hold a design contest to decide what that exclusive design is going to be. At the end of the year, it's then available in our Emporium. Our next milestone is to hit the $1,200 level. At that level, we want to bring you guys 9 to 10 episodes a month. Right now, we both work full-time jobs, and the History Goes Bump podcast has become full-time. We just don't have enough time to put into the research and the production. That level will help us so that we can put more time into the History Goes Bump podcast. Higher levels, we ultimately want to bring you guys lucky number 13 episodes a month, and then we want to start hosting tours and conventions around the country. And at the even higher levels, we sure would like to be able to pay our volunteers. So please consider becoming patrons of the History Goes Bump podcast. You will become an executive producer, you'll be listed on the website and announced on the podcast. We know there's a lot of you who can't contribute to the show at this time, but your sharing of the show helps us immensely. Thank you.